Hey everybody, welcome to otakusandgeeks.com reviews. Justin here, and for the record, I have not become a zombie. This is just a costume. Do not be alarmed. Nobody shoot me, okay? That's the order. Do not shoot. I am not a zombie. Now, that I got that out the way. Today we're going to be reviewing Resident Evil Damnation, the recent Capcom CGI film based off the Resident Evil video game series. Before we talk about the stories and the characters, here's a brief synopsis of the film. U.S. federal agent Leon S. Kennedy sneaks into the East Slavic Republic to verify rumors that bioorganic weapons, or BOWs, are being used in the country's civil war. With the U.S. and Russia are making preparations to jointly intervene in, right after his infiltration, the U.S. government orders him to leave immediately. Determined to uncover the truth, Leon ignores the order and enters the battlefield to end the chain of tragedies caused by the BOWs. The story, I'm sorry guys, the story is a so-so for me. It has its good points and it has a lot of weak points in this one. Mainly, the story is kind of bland and very generic. As it serves for the Resident Evil canon for the video games, it does a good job. I mean, you see some new cool stuff here. And the main focus of this, the reason why Leon's there is because there's rumors going around that a terrorist group, of course, there's always terrorists now in Resident Evil, a terrorist group has found a way to control the BOWs, which is bioorganic weapons. Now, for those who don't know or are familiar with the BOWs were first seen in Resident Evil 4 and greatly explored in Resident Evil 5. So you have people trying to control the Ouroboros, and the Ouroboros are definitely here in Russia or East Slavic Republic. And the mercenary or terrorist group of people are trying to use this BOWs to overthrow the government and basically take back what's theirs because they feel like they've been wronged or they want things to restore the order. They want fairness in their communities, basically. So you're going to have this dictator of a president who basically has a secret agenda of her own, and Leon is there to put a stop to the terrorist group, who you find out later on really isn't that much of a terrorist group. But I'm not going to spoil too much about it. But for the most part, the story, like I said, it's a so-so. It's great to see Leon again, and it's great to see Leon doing what Leon does best, and that's being more of a badass and kicking ass. And the great thing about this one, this really kept me interested in the story, was Ada. Ada and Leon's relationship is explored a little bit more in this, and I won't spoil it because I promised my friends I wouldn't spoil it because they haven't seen it yet. But I would just say this. Ada is going to say something to Leon and when they first meet, and they meet in the traditional way of fighting each other or engaging in combat. I guess this is becoming a thing for them now, how they greet each other. But Ada says something to Leon that's going to have Ada Wong fans and Leon fans, people who really want these two to get together and have some type of relationship. She's going to say something to Leon that's going to have people go, I wonder, did they? And I'm going to leave it at that. But for the most part, the interaction of Ada and Leon is what's going to keep you here. You're going to find out Ada is there as usual to retrieve a sample or retrieve something. And you're going to find out that she has her own agenda. And what I really do like about it is how you're going to see how it alludes a little bit to Resident Evil 6 and how Resident Evil 6 is becoming more, I mean, if you guys play the demo, you're going to see how Resident Evil, the progression of the viruses and the progression of the BOWs are starting to advance even more. Now they're shooting at you. Now they're having minds of their own. So it's a good progression to it. But story-wise, it is kind of lacking. For at least the first half an hour, I wasn't really interested. I thought it was kind of dull, and that's mainly due to the character of JD, who basically is part of this so-called terrorist group, and he just kind of took me out of the movie. His character is this wannabe American, or I could say he just wants to be kind of urban or just kind of hip with it, and I guess he's there written for people who relate to that type of character, like, you know, people who cool, who into this today's new hip styles and stuff like that, but it just fails miserably. Miserable as a guy who's just trying to be a wannabe American. It just kind of got annoying because everything was, oh, made in the USA, made in this, made it. It just kind of took me out of the movie and kept me out of focus. And there's also points in the movie that kind of didn't make sense to me. For instance, there's a scene where Leon and JD have to open up this door, and a group of Ouroboros is coming after them, and they're both struggling to open up this door, and there's only 3 of them. Leon's unarmed because, you know, obviously the terrorists captured him, but JD has a freaking gun, fully loaded with tons of ammo. Instead, he doesn't use it. Instead, he's just trying to open up the door, and Leon has to use his crowbar to take down the Ouroboros, which didn't make any type of sense to me. Why wouldn't you just shoot them? I mean, it was elements like that. You see a lot of kind of stupid moments like that throughout the film, and you're like, wouldn't it have been more common sense to use it with this, more common sense to use it with that? But for the most part, like I said, it's a hit or miss. It will be a hit or miss with you. For me, it's so-so. It's fair to story-wise. But like I said, otherwise than that, it's decent. For the canon-wise, it's going to lead a little bit. It leads to 6, so you get a little bit more backstory of what happened to Leon, what happens to Ada before leading up to what they have to do. But otherwise than that, So let's go into the voice acting. For those who are familiar with Resident Evil 4, well, you'll see a difference in the voice acting department a little bit. We have now Courtney Taylor playing Ada Wong now, and she does a really good job of still capturing Ada's voice. You really can't tell too much of a difference, so I honestly thought it was the original voice actress from Resident Evil 2. And of course, Ada's pitch is a little bit more different now because obviously it's a different person playing it. But she did a really good job that it made me believe that, hey, it was still Sally playing Ada. You have Matthew Mercer as Leon Kennedy, does a great job, and he's giving a nice, powerful performance as Leon, showing that compassionate but strong, but at the same time, badass attitude that Leon is. You have Ingrid Hannigan that returns back as well, being that still commando, you know, always there to help Leon out. She's not there fully. She's only there towards the end and the beginning because obviously Leon abandons his orders and obviously he's just not gonna talk to Hannigan. So for the most part, the voice acting was really enjoyable. It's great acting, and unfortunately, some of the dialogue, I didn't mention this in the story, but some of the dialogue is a little cheesy, but it's classic Resident Evil cheesy. So you're going to get, especially with the character JD, you're going to get him trying to be hip and saying words and catchphrases that you probably hear in America, and you're going to be like, But for the Russian actors, you know, for the Russian accent actors, it pretty did good too as well. So voice acting, no real complaints over that. Music and animation. I enjoy the music so much. The reason why I enjoy the music so much is because it reminded me of Resident Evil 2's composition with the creepy piano, great orchestrated music in the background. This really sets the atmosphere and it really gives you this Resident Evil feel. And it really brought it to me. And I believe it was the OST that actually kept me watching it from this lackluster story and plot. So the music is phenomenal. If I could find the OST, I'm definitely going to be buying it because there's this one theme where Leon is talking to JD and the piano creeps in. It's an emotional scene because Leon's talking about his incident in Raccoon City. He's talking about what's going to happen to the people here if they don't stop using the BOWs. And it's just, it was emotional. And with Matthew Mercer's performance as Leon, it brings you in. And I thought the composition was a great justice to the Resident Evil, and it gives you that Resident Evil feel that I've been longing for. So the OST is phenomenal. And also, which is really cool on sound wise as well, is that when they're walking, you actually hear the actual footsteps, like if you're playing the real Resident Evil game. So when you're walking, when they're walking or running, you hear that little it is awesome, man. It really gives you that feel. Animation wise, CGI environments, really good. I like it. I like it. It's more detailed, obviously, than Degenerations. I say the graphics is a little bit more of an upgrade. So you get more detail. Leon looks a little bit different. And the environments and the action was well choreographed as well. And you see a return of a certain monster. I won't spoil it, but you see a certain return of monsters. So Resident Evil 2 fans are really going to be happy with the monsters in this one. Ouroboros, the movements, choreography was great. Action was great. Ada looks good. You can see her transformation now. She looks great. So I really did enjoy that. The graphics and the animation. It was very beautiful to look at. So I'm going to go into the final grade. Final grade, Resident Evil Damnation. I will be giving this a C-. It's enjoyable to watch, but it's not something I'm going to be watching again. Die-hard Resident Evil fans are going to be getting a kick out of it, but me personally, it was kind of a lackluster, corny plot. JD, the character, took me out for him trying to be hip. I know he's supposed to be the comedic element to it, but he just took me out of the movie. It's nice, on the plus side though, it's nice to see Leon and Ada's relationship getting a little more deeper. It's nice to see that they're might be heading somewhere, or something already happened and just they're trying to give you hopefully more information in Resident Evil 6. So, and another cool thing is the ending theme is also good as well. So the ending theme, the story is so-so. It's going to be a hit and miss with Resident Evil fans. For those Resident Evil purists from 1 to 2, you're not really going to like this because obviously it's not for you. So I did like the concept of people being able to control the Ouroboros, but like I said, lackluster plot, not really much of an emphasis on the theme, so I had to give this a C-. So thank you for watching us, and this is Justin from Motakugeeks.com review saying later days. I'll catch you on the next one.